If you boot up Mafia Definitive Edition expecting Grand Theft Auto in the 1930s, you might hate it. There are no strip clubs to buy, no endless side hustles, no dynamic events designed to keep your dopamine receptors twitching. Lost Heaven is not a playground, it's a stage. A carefully lit, rain-slicked backdrop for a tight, linear crime story that runs about 15 hours and then it ends. In an age of 100-hour retention machines, Hangar 13 did something quietly radical with this 2020 remake. They looked at a 2002 PC classic that trusted players to sit still and feel something, and they chose to protect that trust instead of replacing it with more content. Today, we're not reviewing the product. We're auditing a decision. Does this remake still understand why the original mattered?
Don't spend it all at once.
I'll try not to.
Well, I had my money on the other guys, so drinks are on you.
Oh.
The biggest improvement isn't the lighting or the gun feel. It's the people. Andrew Burleson plays Tommy like a man who already knows the ending and is just waiting for the rest of us to catch up. Polly feels less like a comic relief hothead and more like someone who can see the meat grinder turning and still climbs in anyway. And Sarah's no longer a plot device. She's the quiet moral gravity that keeps pulling Tommy back toward the man he used to be. You watch him go from a cab driver taking a job out of desperation to a man who can look another human being in the eyes and still pull the trigger. To someone who finally understands that family was never going to let him leave clean. The farm sequence still hits the same way it did years ago. Slow, uncomfortable. No music swelling to tell you how to feel. Just the cost of the life, sitting there in the open. That's the part modern remakes usually sand down. This one didn't.
You don't want to see this?
Jesus.
Mechanically, the remake walks a careful line. The gunplay has weight. Tommy does not move like a superhero. He moves like a man who used to drive a taxi. But the real test is still the driving. On Classic, the cars are heavy, the roads are wet, and the game will punish you for treating 1930s machinery like a modern arcade racer. And yes, the race is still there. On Classic difficulty, it remains an absolute trial. Some people will call it unfair. Hangar 13 could have softened it. They didn't. That refusal is important. Friction was part of the original's identity. Removing every rough edge would have been the easier, more modern choice. Keeping it was the more honest one. It isn't perfect. The open world is so carefully built that part of you wants to live in it longer than the story allows. Rewrite exists, but it feels like an afterthought, a leftover space rather than a living one. And a few of the later action sequences lean a little too hard on contemporary shooter language. Those are small complaints next to the larger truth. The emptiness after the credits is not a failure of design, it's the point. Lost Heaven was never meant to be a permanent home. It was a place you passed through while a man lost pieces of himself. When the story ends, the streets should feel quiet. That silence is part of the wait.
Okay then.
Mafia Definitive Edition is not trying to keep you logging in. It is not selling you a battle pass or another 100 hours of artificial purpose. It offers a complete story with a beginning, a middle, and an ending that actually arrives. It trusts you to sit with the consequences. It trusts the original vision enough not to gut it for modern retention metrics. In a landscape that keeps asking for more of your time while giving you less and less that lingers, this remake still understands the value of a story that simply waits for you. Whether you first met Tommy in 2002, or you're only arriving now, the game is still here. It isn't going anywhere. Defy the hype, and as always, lag out.